Welcome to our podcast channel. Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle, doing the same things over and over without making any real progress? Maybe you've tried changing old habits or wanted to reinvent yourself but kept falling into familiar patterns. Today we're going to talk about how to break free from those old habits and transform your life by reinventing yourself. I'm Erin, and I'm here with Evan to dive deep into the process of self-reinvention. The good news is that reinventing yourself isn't just about setting new goals. It's about changing the way you think about yourself. Imagine if you could rewire your brain and your identity so that these changes become sustainable. This process of transformation isn't just important for your personal life. It also plays a crucial role in your journey to learning English or mastering any skill you want to excel at. So, if you're tired of procrastination or feel stuck in old habits, keep listening because today's podcast will help you break free and become the person you've always wanted to be. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a cycle, repeating the same tasks over and over, but not making any real progress? That's something I've definitely experienced. For a long time, I believed that procrastination was just part of my identity. I kept telling myself, I'm just not the kind of person who works efficiently, and every time I tried to tackle a task, I ended up procrastinating. That belief kept me trapped in a cycle of inaction. Does that sound familiar?
I can completely relate to that. Just like you, I used to think that procrastination was a part of who I was. I kept telling myself, I only work well under pressure, which is why I always put things off until the last minute. But after diving deeper into the process of self-transformation, I realized that change doesn't happen overnight. However, when you understand how your brain works, you begin to realize that change is possible at any time.
So where does the change start? How do we begin to break free from those old patterns?
Real change begins by changing how you see yourself. Our brains are incredibly flexible and capable of adapting. This means that if you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good at this, or I always procrastinate, your brain starts to accept that as truth and begins to guide your actions based on those beliefs. Every thought you have creates a habit, and that habit will drive your actions. It becomes a self-sustaining cycle. The beliefs we hold about ourselves often dictate how we act in the world.
So how do we break free from that cycle? How can we change our habits if we've been stuck in this loop for so long?
The first step is to change those old, limiting beliefs. Instead of telling yourself, I procrastinate all the time, start telling yourself, I am someone who gets things done immediately. Once you change your thinking, your actions will follow suit. But simply changing your thoughts isn't enough. We also need to clearly visualize the person we want to become. Visualization plays a huge role in self-reinvention.
Visualization, right? I've heard a lot about it, but I've never really applied it myself.
Exactly. Visualization is a powerful tool in making self-reinvention a reality. When I decided to stop procrastinating, I began picturing myself as someone who gets things done immediately, without hesitation. This visualization didn't just motivate me. It gave me a clear map of the person I want to become and guided me toward that goal. Similarly, when learning English, if you picture yourself confidently speaking with others or understanding your favorite movies without subtitles, that vision helps make your goal feel more achievable and motivating.
So, should I visualize myself as perfect, like a flawless version of who I want to be?
Not necessarily. Your goal isn't to become a perfect version of yourself, but rather a better version of yourself. You don't have to erase all your old habits at once. What's important is realizing that you can change, and you can become the person you want to be. Beliefs like, I only work well under pressure, or I can't do anything right, are outdated, and they need to be replaced with new, more empowering beliefs.
Right, that makes sense. But I always thought that self-reinvention had to be some big, dramatic change. Do I need to change everything all at once?
That's one of the biggest myths about self-reinvention. You don't need to have a massive change all at once. The most profound changes come from small, consistent actions every day. Think about it. If you commit to just 5 minutes of focused work every day, that's 5 more minutes than you were doing before. Over time, those 5 minutes turn into 10, then 30, and before you know it, you'll be getting more done than you ever thought possible. The key is consistency, not intensity.
So, I don't need to make a huge change right away. It's really about the small daily actions that add up over time.
Exactly. And this applies to all areas of life, including learning English. Instead of thinking, I have to study for an hour, start small, commit to just 5 minutes of speaking practice, or listen to an English podcast for a few minutes. And gradually, you'll build a consistent learning habit. Even small daily actions can lead to remarkable progress over time.
That makes a lot of sense. I also realize now that the inner dialogue we have is so important. Instead of constantly saying, I'm terrible at this, I should be telling myself, I'm improving every day. That shift in mindset will change how I approach challenges.
Absolutely. The way we speak to ourselves has a powerful effect on our mindset. Instead of criticizing yourself when things don't go perfectly, encourage yourself by affirming that you're improving. This shift in internal dialogue helps create a growth mindset, which is crucial for overcoming obstacles and keeping momentum going.
What about the environment around me? Does that play a role in my ability to change?
Your environment plays a huge role in supporting or hindering your transformation. If your environment is full of distractions, it's going to be hard to focus on your goals. For example, I realized that having my phone right next to me while I work was a huge distraction, so I started putting it in another room. You can do the same with your environment when learning English. Change your phone settings to English, place vocabulary sticky notes around your home, or listen to English podcasts while you exercise. When your environment aligns with your goals, it becomes much easier to stay on track.
Get it now. My environment should be a supportive space that helps me stay focused, not something that holds me back.
Exactly. And finally, remember that self-reinvention isn't a one-time event. It's the result of small, daily choices. If you commit to making positive changes every day, you'll see significant results over time. It's not about one big moment of transformation. It's about consistently taking action and trusting that the small steps will lead to the change you desire.
That's right. The key is commitment. It's not just about saying you want to change. It's about taking action every day to become a better version of yourself. It's a continuous process.
Exactly. Start with one small step today. We all have the ability to change, and daily actions are the key to transforming our lives. Remember, self-reinvention isn't a sprint. It's a marathon, and each small step you take brings you closer to the person you want to become.
So, to wrap things up, what's one small step you're going to take today to start your journey of self-reinvention? Share it with us, write it down, or take action right now. Don't wait. Let's begin this journey today. Keep listening, keep growing, and keep making those small changes. We'll see you in the next episode.